media today. Okay, hi, hello, Facebook, hello, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, Instagram. I'm very glad to be here with you guys today. We're going to be discussing an exciting topic. Our visas, okay, our visas. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I see the emojis flowing in. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. It's getting really cold, so we're warming up for the winter. Okay, so we're going to be discussing our visas. So our visas are pretty much visas for religious workers. Yes, there is such a type of visa. Eskin White on Instagram says hello. Hi Eskin, I hope you're doing great. I see Lintete with the emojis. Thank you. KMM on Instagram says hello. All right, guys. So our visas are religious workers type of visas. And please, I have a visitor in my office as usual. So if you hear any squeaks, please bear with me. She's going to be on her best behavior. So that's just for your notice. Okay. So our visas are religious worker visas. If you're a religious worker, you actually can get a visa to come to the United States. Or let's take the scenario where you're already here in the US. You can actually change your status to that of a religious worker. Okay, we'll talk about the two types of people who can apply for religious worker visas very briefly. It's going to be a very brief, quick video because I have to run. So please stick with us and hopefully you will take something away at the end of this video. So first of all, the law allows R visas to be filed on behalf of religious workers, as we mentioned, and the R visa is normally a non-immigrant type of visa. It means that they're not planning on staying in the US permanently. It's just for a period of time, and this visa will give them the opportunity to work as religious workers in a in a religious organization located in the US. Okay, so the R visa is for two categories of people. The first person is categories of persons are ministers. These, you can file an R visa for a minister, or a minister can get, can file a change of status if they're already here in the United States. They can file a change of status to, an R status. Piper, take a seat. Okay. So there are 4 criteria under which somebody can be, can obtain a religious worker visa as a minister. So the first is that the person must be fully authorized and trained in religious denomination to conduct religious worship and perform duties that are usually performed by clergy of denomination. Okay, so you're normally, let's say, a pastor and you're trained to perform pastoral work, or you're a reverend or an evangelist. You can have an R visa filed for you. Then secondly, you should not be a lay preacher or a person who's not authorized to perform clergy's duties. So you must not be a lay preacher. A lay preacher is somebody who has, who does secular work, and then, during their part time, they want to preach the gospel. That's not not for those people. You should be somebody who is fully authorized and trained in religious denomination to conduct religious worship and perform those type of clergy duties. And you should not be a lay preacher. And then the third thing is that you should perform activities rationally related to being a minister. When the law says those things, you should know they mean business. The duties you're performing should be rationally related to being a minister. So if they look at the type of work you're performing, and rationally they don't see the connection between that type of work and being a minister, then the R visa is going to be denied. So you cannot file an application for a religious worker saying that, okay, this person is going to become a religious worker in this Presbyterian church in New York, and the person will be, I'm sorry, I got a call that disconnected us, and the person will be, oh my goodness. Can you guys see me on Instagram? Pepper, sit down. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I got a call and that uh, my Instagram keeps freezing. I'm not sure what's going on. Let me see if I can solve this. Okay, guys, can you hear me on Instagram? Okay, I'm not sure why. Oh my goodness. Can you guys hear me on Instagram? Please drop me an emoji or something. Drop me a wave, a hand waving, or a flag, any country's flag. Okay, I think it's stabilized now. All right. So the job or the activities you're going to be performing should be racially related to being a minister. So if a church files for you and they are saying that, oh, the job you're going to be performing would be, for example, teaching the members financial principles, how to make money or double their money, or something that is not racially related to being a minister, then that will not qualify as, it will not qualify that minister to be eligible for an R visa. Okay. Then the last thing is that number 4, the minister must work solely as a minister in the US. This may include incidental administrative duties, of course, so like typing, printing, admin duties. But it could be also part-time work, but at least it must be 20 hours per week part-time work. But you should be working solely as a minister in the US if you're trying to file this R visa. Okay, if you're going to be the beneficiary of an R visa. So normally the petitioner would be the church or the religious organization, and then the I'm sorry. So the petitioner would be the church or the religious organization, and the beneficiary would be the minister who's going to benefit from the application. Okay. So you can be a minister, or secondly, you can be a religious worker. A religious worker is the beneficiary who's going to actually benefit from having this application filed for them. The first thing is that you must be a member of the religious denomination. Yeah, you must be a member of the religious denomination. You should have been a member of that religious denomination for at least 2 years preceding the filing of the petition. So if the religious denomination filing for you is a Presbyterian church, you should have been a member of the Presbyterian church for 2 years preceding, for at least 2 years preceding the filing of the petition. Okay, you can't join a church and within 6 months you're trying to file, get a religious worker visa filed for you because you've been a member for just 6 months. You should have been a member for at least since, if you're filing it now, since September 2020. You should have been a member of the Presbyterian church if the Presby church is going to file for you. Okay, and then, oh my gosh, I should have tied up this hair. I'm sorry, I keep, it's all over the place. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing, you should be trying to work in a part-time position for at least 20 hours a week, at least. Because the point of all of this is that they don't want people coming in on a religious visa and then getting the R visa, and then they'll be working in Walmart or doing other secular jobs and taking away the jobs of the people here in the US. So if a church is filing for you, then you should be here to perform the duties of the church, just the church. And at least you should be doing 20 hours a week to give you the opportunity to concentrate on that. Okay. The third thing is that you should be coming to perform a religious vocation or occupation in either a professional or non-professional capacity. So with this, we're going to talk about religion. What is a religious occupation? We'll focus just on what is a religious occupation. A religious occupation, the duties must primarily relate to um, 4 areas. The first thing is that it must be a traditional religious function, and it must be recognized as a religious occupation within the denomination. So when we talk about a traditional religious function, okay, things such as you know, a choir director, or it just has to be a traditional religious function. So if you can think up anything that has a traditional religious function, and it should be recognized as a religious occupation within the denomination. So if you're trying to file in a Presbyterian church, what are some of the traditional religious functions of that type of denomination? So that's what the rule should cover for the beneficiary. Okay. And then the second thing is that it must clearly involve inculcating or carrying out the religious creed and beliefs of the denomination. So, it has to be something where you're practicing your functions as a religious, being in the religious occupation. You should be carrying out the functions of the religious creed, or you're carrying out the religious creed and beliefs of that denomination, not another denomination. Okay, then thirdly, it should not include positions that are primarily administrative or support, such as janitors, maintenance workers, clerical employees, fundraisers, and persons involved in solicitation or of donations, or similar, involved in solicitation of donations or similar positions. Okay, so what they're trying to say is that if you're trying to have a religious worker petition filed for you, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. You need to, it shouldn't be things that they can easily hire American people for, like, okay, a janitor or maintenance worker to come and fix your pipe. You don't need an R visa for that. Your role should pertain to traditional religious function, something that is traditionally religious and function. Okay, and then the next thing is, the third one is, it must not include, okay, I think we've spoken about that, admin support. Then lastly, it should not be solely for religious study or training for religious work. Okay, so yeah, today's video, I'm sorry, yes, I'm all over the place a little bit, just too many distractions around me, but I hope you guys got the message. You can actually file an R visa or file a change of status for someone to move from a visitor's visa to R status, based on the fact that the person is coming to do, perform religious work in a religious organization here in the United States. Okay, so hopefully we can talk some more about this another time. Drop me your questions, and then I'll try to respond to them as best as I can. Ijabing52 says, can the NVC be contacted, please? So yes, the NVC can be contacted. The NVC, Ijabin is on Instagram. The NVC is the National Visa Center, and it's actually the liaison. So once you file an application with USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, the first part of any type of immigration visa application, if it's approved, the USCIS will forward the approved application to the NVC, the National Visa Center, and the NVC is responsible for collecting fees and, telling you what documents to prepare, giving you forms to fill out, just getting you ready and getting your dossier or your file ready, so that an interviewing officer at your local US embassy can schedule you for an interview and then interview you easily. So NVC, 3 months ago, I believe they suspended the telephone lines because people were blowing the lines up, and they they were not allowing them to work. There's a huge backlog, currently about 10 million green card cases pending. People were just calling, and they just have very few workers. The last time I checked, I believe they had about 700 NVC workers, and they currently have about 450,000 applications that they're trying to schedule. So if everybody is calling them, they're not going to get any work done. So you cannot call them, but you can contact them through I believe, their public inquiry form. You can send them an email or send an inquiry, but not through direct telephone conversation. or direct telephone inquiry. Okay. Can you brief us about invitation visa? Yes. I've done quite a number of videos on that, so you should be able to find it. Mr. Francis Gabin says, okay. All right. Ramelo Barito says, hello, can you help me? I have an employer willing to sponsor. He's looking for an immigration lawyer. Yes, we can certainly help you. Please call us. That's our website below, or our phone numbers 8027800564. And hopefully you will be able to, yeah, we can assist you, no problem with that. But what type of EB are you trying to file? What's your occupation, and what type of business does the employer have? Brother Y Isaac says, good evening, sister. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for your good work. Thank you so much. You guys keep me humble. Thank you. I'm just congested today. I'm a very rough morning, but I knew we had to come online. What is your contact number? Let me see if I can put that up. Okay, let me see. Yes, I can actually edit this. So our contact numbers, if you visit our website, you should be able to find it. 802-780. Okay, so it's 802-780-0564. If you're calling us from the US. If you're not, don't forget to add a code. You can also find us on WhatsApp. So let me add the international +1 802 so that you know. Okay. Yeah, LinkedIn and Facebook is frozen again. So let's move to Instagram. Me and my husband, Mary Life 11 says, me and my husband decided to divorce, but do I will have problems after for citizen? It depends. Contact us and we'll be able to take a look at your case and help you. Yeah, we've worked on several cases like that, so we will be able to help you. Someone says, Deepak says, what was your pre-law major? French and psychology. Okay, guys, so my Facebook and LinkedIn are frozen, so I'll have to end the stream, unfortunately.